Stop before Wednesday takes what is left. Not permanently, not the stopping of the person who cannot continue, the deliberate, chosen, specific interruption of the Wednesday that is in motion and that will, without the interruption, take the rest of what the week has been drawing from since Monday, the stop that prevents the wearing down from becoming the worn out, the stop before the before becomes after. You can feel the wearing. The edges that were sharper on Monday are softer now. The patience that was fuller at the beginning of the week is thinner at the middle of it. The clarity that the fresh start provided has been converted through 2.5 days of genuine engagement into the particular Wednesday version of clarity that is still functioning, but that knows it is not Monday's version anymore. This is not failure. This is Wednesday. This is what Wednesday feels like when the person has been genuinely in the week rather than managing it from a protected distance. And the Wednesday that receives the stop, the deliberate, prayer-anchored interruption of the motion, is the Wednesday that does not become the worn-out Thursday. His word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, to be still and know that I am God. The being still is the stop. The active, chosen, resisting the motion, stop. And from the stillness, the knowing, not the analysis, not the processing of the week's evidence, the knowing that arrives when the still is chosen before the knowing has had to be earned through the continuing motion. Still, then know, in that order. Before we enter this prayer, write in the comments, Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence. Write it as the interruption. The specific Wednesday stop. Now breathe, specifically right now, the full breath that the worn down Wednesday has not been taking. In. Let the chest expand all the way. Out, slowly. The breath of the person who stopped before the wearing was complete. That breath is the prayer beginning. Subscribe to this channel and come back tomorrow morning. We begin every day here before the day has consumed what the day requires. Share this prayer with someone whose Wednesday needs the stop before it is too late for the stop to matter. Now let us stop and breathe and receive what the motion was preventing. Lord, my God and my Father, I come before you on this Wednesday morning and I interrupt the motion. The motion has been running since Monday. The projects in motion, the conversations in motion, the concerns in motion, the decisions forming in motion. All of it moving, developing, requiring, drawing from what Monday had available. And now it is Wednesday, and the motion is still running, and the drawing has been continuous, and the Wednesday person arriving here is the Monday person minus what the motion has spent. I stop the motion right here, in this prayer, not the stopping of the person who cannot handle the week. The deliberate stopping of the person who knows that the motion without the stopping eventually produces the person who cannot stop, because stopping would reveal the extent of the wearing. I stop, and I breathe. The full breath, the breath that was shallow all week, because the motion was using the interior in a way that shallow breath is the honest response to. Now, the full breath. Because the stopping creates the space that the full breath requires. Your word declares in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7, that the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. The breath of life is the specific gift of the specific God who breathed it in. And the Wednesday person who stopped and breathed fully in this prayer received something from the stopping and the breathing that the motion was preventing them from receiving. The breath of life. Present. In the Wednesday still. In the Wednesday full breath. The breath of life is not a metaphor for the Wednesday person. It is the actual renewal of what the motion was depleting. The motion runs on the reserves. The breath replenishes at the source. The person who stopped and breathed received what the continuous motion was consuming without replacement. and the replenished person enters the Wednesday afternoon with more than the unstopped person would have had, not a dramatic restoration, the margin that the full breath creates. And the margin is what the afternoon requires to be genuinely inhabited rather than merely navigated. Breathe again, right now. A second breath, deeper than the first. The breath of the person who received the stopping and is receiving what the stopping receives. Feel where the week's motion lives in the body right now. The shoulders that have been slightly forward since Monday. The jaw that has been holding the focus. The chest that has been operating at the pace of the motion rather than the pace of the rest. The body knows about the wearing even when the mind is pretending Wednesday is fine. The body has been tracking the cost. In this breath, the body can release a little of what it has been holding since Monday. Not all of it. The amount that one breath makes possible. The shoulders slightly back, the jaw softened, the chest expanding into the full breath, the body following the prayers leading. That release is the motion stopping in the body the way the choice to pray stopped it in the interior. Both real, both available. Right now, Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence. Father, I want to name what the Wednesday motion is taking that the stop can restore. The motion is taking the attention. The Wednesday person is not fully in any single moment because the motion requires the attention to be divided between the current thing and the previous thing and the upcoming thing simultaneously. The relational attention is partial. The work attention is divided. The prayer attention is competing with the processing of the Wednesday's accumulated inputs. The attention was full on Monday. The motion has been drawing from it. The stopping creates the undivided attention. Even for this prayer, even for this moment, the motion is stopped. The attention is here, in this prayer, fully, not monitoring the Tuesday thread or anticipating the Thursday meeting, here. And the undivided attention of even a few minutes is a different quality of receiving from the divided attention that the motion produces. The motion is also taking the generosity. The Wednesday person has less to offer than the Monday person. The emotional reserve from which genuine generosity draws has been used. The patience that was available at the beginning of the week is lower now. The quality of presence that the genuine care for others requires is diminished by the drawing. The motion takes the generosity because generosity draws from the same interior reserves that the motion has been depleting, and something the motion takes that is rarely named, the joy of the work. The person who began Monday with genuine engagement with what they do finds by Wednesday that the engagement has lost some of its quality. Not the competence, the joy, the felt sense of meaning in the doing. The motion converts the joyful engagement of Monday into the functional execution of Wednesday. Both produce the work. Only one of them restores the person in the doing. And the Wednesday that does not stop loses the joy of the work to the motion in a way that the Wednesday stop can partially restore. The stopping restores the generosity by interrupting the drawing. The motion stops drawing for this prayer. The reserves have a moment to be partially replenished. The generosity that was lower by Wednesday is higher after the stop than it would have been without it. The person who stopped has more to offer the Wednesday afternoon than the person who did not stop. Your word declares in the book of Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. The renewal happens in the hoping, in the stopping and the hoping, in the interruption of the motion long enough for the hope in the Lord to replenish what the motion was depleting, not after the week is over. In the Wednesday still, the strength is renewed right now. For the second half of the week, available from the renewed position rather than the worn down one. Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence. Lord, I want to receive something about the Wednesday specifically, about what the middle of the week holds that the beginning and the end do not. Wednesday has a particular quality of honesty. Monday has the fresh start's optimism. Friday has the relief of the ending. Wednesday has neither. Wednesday has the accurate, unromantically clear picture of what the week actually is. And here is what the Wednesday honest picture, received from the stopped position, provides. It tells you what needs the second half, not the Monday plan's version of what the second half needs. The actual Wednesday evidence, the project that is behind and needs focused attention tomorrow, the relationship that is strained and needs a real conversation before Friday. The decision that has been deferred and whose deferral is now costing more than the deciding would. Wednesday knows these things. The stopped Wednesday person can act on them. The motion-continuing Wednesday person arrives at Friday surprised by what the Wednesday could have adjusted. Wednesday has a particular quality of honesty. Monday has the fresh start's optimism. Friday has the relief of the ending. Wednesday has neither. Wednesday has the accurate, unromantically clear picture of what the week actually is. The projects that are actually making progress and the ones that are not. The relationships that are genuinely moving and the ones that are stuck. The version of the person the week has produced versus the version the Monday intention was reaching for. The Wednesday honest picture is not comfortable, but it is the most accurate picture available. And the person who receives the Wednesday honest picture from the stop position, from the person who interrupted the motion and breathed and is present to the actual Wednesday rather than running through it, is the person who can make the second half of the week genuinely better rather than just continuing the first half's motion. The stop is the point of adjustment, not the Friday review, the Wednesday stop, while there is still a second half. While the week can still be adjusted rather than just survived, the motion without the stop will continue in the direction the first half established, regardless of whether that direction is the right one. The stop makes the adjustment possible. Take a breath with that. The second half of the week is not yet written. You stopped in the middle. The adjustment is available. What does the second half need that the first half did not have? What does the motion need to change before the Thursday? The stopped person can see this. The person in motion cannot. The answer to that question, the one the stopped person can see, is available right now, not after the prayer. In the prayer. The Wednesday honest picture, received in the still, shows what the motion was, preventing the person from seeing clearly, the relationship that needs a conversation before Friday. The work that needs the specific attention the motion has been diverting to other things. The decision that cannot be deferred past Thursday without the cost compounding. The Wednesday stop is the moment of clear sight. Use it. Your word declares in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 26, to give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. The careful thought requires the stop. The steadfast ways emerge from the careful thought that the motion without the stopping prevents. Wednesday is the right day for the careful thought. In the middle, before the Thursday's momentum makes the adjustment harder. Father, I want to ask for something specific for the second half of this Wednesday and this week. Presence. The genuine, full, actually here quality of the person who stopped and breathed and received the replenishment that the stopping provides. The presence that the Wednesday motion was grinding down to a thinner version of itself. The people of the Wednesday afternoon deserve the present version rather than the version the continued motion without the stop was going to deliver. The colleague who needs a real conversation deserves the person who stopped and is actually here rather than the person who is processing the Tuesday while appearing to listen to the Wednesday. The family member who deserves the full attention of the person who loves them deserves the Wednesday stopped version rather than the Wednesday worn down version. The stop is a gift to the people of the second half, not just to the person who took it. Every person who receives the present version after the stopping receives something more real than they would have received from the continuous motion. The stop made the presence possible. Your word declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 29, to take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Rest for your souls. The soul rest. The interior refreshing that the motion was preventing. Available in the yoke exchange. The heavy motion yoke given for the easy carried with the gentle one yoke. The soul can breathe in the easy yoke. The soul was suffocating in the motion yoke. The yoke exchange happens in this stop, right here. This is the taking the easy yoke, this prayer, this breath, this Wednesday interruption of the wearing down motion, and the soul that takes the easy yoke enters the second half lighter than the soul that continued the motion without stopping. Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence. Father, as this prayer closes, I want to name what happened here. The motion stopped. The breath was taken. The full breath, not the motion shallow breath. The replenishment began, small but real. The attention that was divided became focused briefly on the one thing that required no dividing. The generosity that was wearing low received an interruption of the drawing that was depleting it. The soul that was in the motion yoke exchanged it in this prayer for the one that is easy to carry, and the Wednesday that receives the person who stopped is a different Wednesday from the one that was receiving the person who was going to continue the motion. Not because the Wednesday's contents changed, because the person entering the second half changed, stopped, breathed, present, replenished. Lighter than the continued motion would have produced. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 3, that he restores my soul. The restoring happens in the stopping. In the green pasture moment inside the Wednesday. The shepherd does not wait for the week to end to restore what the week is depleting. He restores in the middle, in the stop, in the Wednesday breath. The soul was restored in this prayer, not to Monday's full condition, to more than it was before the stopping. The week can continue from here. The motion can resume, but the person who resumes it is the person who stopped. And the stopping changed everything about how the second half will go. The motion will try to resume at its full pre-stop pace immediately. That is what motion does. It wants the gap filled, but the person who stopped knows the stop is available, knows the breath is returnable, knows the still is not a one-time event, but a practice available in every moment the motion starts wearing again. One breath, the stop, wherever Wednesday places them. The practice is built now. Use it. Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence. That is the declaration this Wednesday continues from. The stopping was real. The breath was full. The replenishment began. And the second half of this week receives a person who interrupted the wearing down before it was complete. That is the gift of the Wednesday morning stop. To everyone who prayed with me this morning, write it in the comments one more time. Lord, I stop before the Wednesday wears down what Monday started with. I choose the still before the worn out. I breathe again in your presence, and then carry the breath into the afternoon. When the motion tries to resume its wearing pace, one breath. The stop is still available. The still is still here. May the Lord restore what the motion has been drawing from, beginning right now in the Wednesday stop. May the breath carry the replenishment into the second half. May the presence that the stopping created be the gift the Wednesday afternoon receives. In Jesus' name, amen.